Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Ultima 6, The False Prophet. In our previous episode, we delved deep into the dungeon Shame in search of yet another piece of the lost treasure map of Captain Hawkins. Now we have 5 pieces of the map. There are 4 more yet to find. Now, several episodes back, when we talked with the former pirate Homer, he told us about the 9 pieces and gave us some hints as to how to find them. Or rather, he told us the locations of some of his former crewmates so we could ask them about the different map pieces they held. Well, we've run down all those leads. We've found all of those pirates, and we've gotten all of the pieces except for one. The one belonging to the pirate Sandy, the former ship's cook who lives in Trinsic. Now, Sandy wants us to go into the dungeon Destard to find dragon eggs, and unfortunately, that's simply just beyond our ability. The Avatar's level 5. No one else is even as strong as he is. We're just not ready to go fight dragons. So it means that we're in a bit of an impasse, but there is something we can do about that. We can level our characters up. Now, we've already been in some of the dungeons, Covetous, Shame, Wrong, but there are other places underground that we can go to other than the classical dungeons of Britannia, and I'm going to show you some of those today. So, to begin with, let's go ahead and use our Orb of the Moons. As you may remember, Shamino is holding onto that. And we're going to go ahead and place the orb 2 spaces to the east of the Avatar. Okay, we are now in the town of Yu, so we're going to go ahead and head westward out of the town, following the road along towards Empeth Abbey. We've been this way before, of course, so this should be very familiar to everyone. In fact, right about where we are now is where we met the Wisps, as you may remember, when we got more gold than we were able to carry. Now, the dungeons I'm going to take you in, they're not classical dungeons in that sense of the word, they're actually more like caves. But the underground structures I'm going to take you to are actually good locations for people early on in the game, people who don't have a particularly high level, and don't have necessarily the best weapons or armor, or a lot of gold. They're good places to get that sort of stuff, especially for somebody just starting out. And the first one we're going to go to is a good example of that. It's not a particularly hard complex, it's not a particularly hard dungeon. So now we're south of the Abbey, and there's mountains to our left. We're going to go ahead and follow these mountains and go just past them. And if we keep going like in this direction, we should eventually reach more mountains, and here they are. Following these around here, we should find a cave, and there it is. Welcome to the Spider Cave. Alright, once again, we're going to have Leona light a torch as usual. This is the Spider Cave. Well, you may be able to guess from its name what lives in here. Giant spiders. Now, giant spiders, of course, are what make the magical reagent spider silk. So, if we're lucky, we may stumble across some of that. And there's a spider. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and level up the Avatar to begin with. He's very close to what he needs for level 6. He has 1,489 experience. He needs 1,600 to get there. So instead of going into battle, we're just going to have him go ahead and attack directly. And do all the killing here. Shamina's going to pick up any food we find. And what we're going to do is, as the characters level up, we're going to put each character into solo mode so that they can be the ones who attack enemies and get the experience, because in Ultima, the experience is given to the character who lands the killing blow. Alright, looks like there's a big chamber here. There's another spider. Luckily, the Avatar's weapon is quite formidable. It has a great range to it, which is helpful because these spiders are actually quite quick. And they can cast webs at you. Now we're going to come across some of those webs soon, and I'm going to show you what those do to the party. Let's just grab these portions of meat. Apparently, spider meat is something that we can eat. Alright, that's a dead end there. We're going to go back this way into the chamber that we just saw the left edge of here. And there we are. That's some of that webbing. Let's take a look at it. Let's examine this more closely. Oh no! The avatar is stuck in the web and can't move. Whatever will we do? Well, we can attack this kind of webbing, as you can see, and destroy it. And sometimes it takes several hits, but it eventually goes away. Now, if you wait long enough, eventually the character gets freed from the web. So we'll go ahead and destroy it. But yep, that's something that the spiders can do. They can actually throw a web at you and lock up your party. They can throw it from a distance. And that's how they hunt their prey. Let's clear this stuff out of the way here, so none of our party gets stuck in it. There we go. Ah, there we go. Now we have to be careful. If we continue to move forward and try to engage the spider, well, we get stuck in webs. So we're going to just stand here and clear it out before we move forward. Now, as you can see, none of these spiders is particularly difficult on their own, but there are a lot of them. But for that reason, if you've got a strong, if you've got enough characters in your party, and you've got some basic weapons, this dungeon isn't too much of a threat. It's a good place to get experience, because you get experience for every spider you kill. And once we get to the second level, as you'll see, it's a good place to get some items. Let's go ahead and head downwards. See what we can find. Ah. Now it looks like Leona is stuck in the web. We could try to attack her, but that doesn't seem to help the situation, does it? YOLO's free, so he's going to go ahead and attack some of these spiders, so that our party members don't get attacked while we're stuck in this web. Yeah, as you can see, you can't directly attack that webbing there, but there is something you can do. Being stuck in a web is much like any other status ailment, be it poisoned, charmed, or whatever. We can cast Dispel Magic on it. Leona is now free of the web. Let's quickly move her clear. Now Shamino, he was luckily not stuck in the web, so let's quickly attack it and get it out of the way. There we go. Now the party's free. So if any of your party members ever get stuck in webbing like that, and you have a spellcaster, the Dispel Magic spell is a good way to get them free. The problem is the avatar, using his spellbook now has his hands, he doesn't have a weapon in his hands, so we need to go ahead and restore his halberd. Now look around here. Let's get everybody out of the way here, and we'll quickly search these spiders and see if there's any meat on them. Okay. Look, spider webbing, magical reagents are scattered all over the ground. Let's go ahead and move these gold nuggets over to Dupre, so the avatar can pick this all up. This is a great place to get spider silk. There's tons of it, and it does respawn over time. And lots of times there's tons of it stacked on top of other pieces. Well, here we can see the unfortunate victims of the spider's predations. There's a deer. Some poor soul's dead body. Let's search it. Well, some weapons, but nothing that we need. But as you can see, if we were earlier in the game, before we'd had a chance to buy all this magic armor, the magic helms, and the other weapons we have, well, this would be pretty good. We could get, various items. Swamp boots, chainmail, another crossbow. They even caught a poor wolf. So as you can see, this is a great early dungeon, and I didn't take you guys here earlier in the game because I wanted to get on with the story a little more quickly. But right now we really do need to spend some time grinding and getting our levels up. See, there would be another halberd if we needed one. Instead of spending that money for the avatar to get a halberd, we could have just come here. Ah, here we go, some more spider silk. We'll quickly grab that. And there is plenty of it. There's the body of what looks like a mage. His magic was unable to save him from the spiders, unfortunately. Another magic helm and some gems. Yola will take the gems, and let's pick up this magic helm. We don't really need one, but we could certainly sell it. Oh, and looks like this is the body of a Cyclops. Even a Cyclops was no match for the spiders. They must have swarmed him, you know, en masse. Well, there's nothing on his body. Apparently there's a giant squid being attacked somewhere in here. One of the things you might notice when you're in a dungeon is that you're seeing reports of other creatures being attacked somewhere off screen. Even when there's not, you know, a giant squid, even though there's no water necessarily nearby. That has to do with the way that the dungeons are designed in this game. All of the dungeons actually exist in one large map. And this black area off to the side of the screen that's outside of our current dungeon, well, that's actually... there could be another dungeon right next to us. For example, we were in the dungeon Covetous and Dungeon Wrong. For all we know, that could be right over to the side here. All the dungeons exist on a single large map. And so sometimes, like I said, when you're up against the walls here, you're right next to another dungeon that you might have visited previously. You can't access it from here, but... as you can see, some of the spider silk respawned. So we got quite a bit of spider silk. We've already gotten 42 more pieces of it. We'll put that in the reagent bag there. Yeah, we're maxed out. We have 99 pieces of spider silk there. I think that's as many as it can fit in one pile. As for the avatar, he's up to 1,569 experience. He's almost ready for level 6. Well, that's pretty much all there is to the Spider Cave. We've pretty much explored every nook and cranny of it. As you can see, though, it's a pretty interesting dungeon. Definitely worth visiting, but there's not much to it. Let's light another torch really quickly, and we're going to go on to another dungeon now. I want to show you another place that you can explore in Britannia while we're looking for more experience. We're going to use the Orb of the Moons again, and this time we're going to place it 2 spaces to the left and 2 spaces to the south of the avatar. As you may remember, it takes us to Skara Brae. Once again, we're going to head out of town to the east, and we're going to follow the road. The road's going to curve north, and eventually, as you may remember, it heads to the crossroad, leading either to the town of View to the north, or to Britain in the east. Ah, looks like there's a battle going on up above us. Mongbats, fighters, and swashbucklers are all fighting together. Now, when we run into a battle this big, it's probably best that we bring the whole party into the battle, so let's get to it. Fortunately, there we go. Mongbats are getting closer. Let's attack them. That Mongbat's fled, so let's go ahead and stop our battle, and we'll go ahead and search the bodies really quickly here. Oh, a leather helmet and some gold. The Mongbat was wearing armor and had some gold. It's kind of strange to think of a monkey with wings wearing armor. Oh, I thought that was one of our party members, but that's actually a random fighter who's attacking us. Let's get back into combat. I'll let the party go ahead and take care of him, and they made quick work of him. Alright, 2 of these Mongbats had chests on them. Let's have Dupre quickly gather the gold. Alright, and then we're going to have everybody step out of the way here. Oops. While the avatar opens up these chests. Now I looked at the chest to try to see if there was a trap, and it said searching here you find nothing, but apparently there was still a trap. Alright, so well there's some food here. Let's have Shamino go ahead and collect that food. And there's some more torches. Let's see if Leona can pick those up. Yes, she can. Perfect. Okay, there's one body left. Oh, there's actually several bodies up here. It looks like an entire party of adventurers met their fate at the hands of monkeys with wings. These Mongbats. And as you can see, it's the middle of the night right now. Our torch is letting us see, so for all I can tell, these poor adventurers must have been camping out for the night, perhaps. Let's go ahead and grab these arrows, since we eventually are going to give this magic bow to somebody. This poor party of adventurers must have been camping out. Let's quickly get out of the way of whatever's shooting at us. They were camping out here at the crossroads. They thought it was safe, and they were beset in the middle of the night by Mongbats. All I can think is that they failed to leave a guard. They must not have left somebody at watch, and the Mongbats snuck up on them and made quick work of them. Alright, well, we've headed east from the crossroads, as we have before, and once again, as you may remember, there's mountains here. Now, last time we went north and continued heading north, went all the way around the mountains and found one of the dungeons. But you may also remember that we walked through here, we walked into this little mountain pass and found a cave. And we didn't go into the cave, we only briefly looked into it. Well, this time we're going into it. Welcome to the Cyclops Cave. Alright, let's look around. There's a ladder if we ever want one. Now, unlike the Spider Cave, the Cyclops Cave is a little bit bigger. It's 3 levels big. As you can see, there's a ladder leading downwards. We're going to remember where that is. The Cyclops Cave has many of these little alcoves with fire. These are probably the rooms where various Cyclops sleep at night. And as you can see, they've left their treasures scattered throughout, just right up against the walls. Oh, there's a Cyclops. Now let's see if the Avatar can kill him off by himself. Well, he made quick work of that Cyclops. He has a few useful items. Again, for a party earlier in the game, not quite as well equipped as we are, that would be quite a haul there. But we're going to hold off and not bother taking anything from that. There's nothing that we need right now. But part of what I'm hoping to demonstrate here, in addition to getting much needed experience for the Avatar here, in fact the Avatar has now exceeded what he needs for level 6. He only needed 1600. We have now gotten enough for level 6. In addition to getting the much needed experience, I'm hoping to demonstrate that this is a good place to go to earlier in the game. If you're just starting out your game of Ultima 6, this might be a good place for you to visit. I wouldn't do it at level 1, but it's definitely worth checking out once your party's gotten a little bit of strength to them. Ah, some more gems. And some more torches. I don't think Leona's going to be able to carry that many torches, but let's try. Unfortunately, no. But Dupre can carry them. So from now on, the Avatar's got plenty of experience. I want to go ahead and let Dupre start leveling up next. So, we're going to go into solo mode and have Dupre come down and engage this Cyclops. Now, Dupre does not have quite as powerful a weapon as the Avatar, so it might take a little longer to kill it. But even Dupre was successful, and he found a chest. Unfortunately, the acid wounded Dupre. There was some food inside. we're going to take a quick moment to heal the party. Now, we do have the original heal spell, but as you can see, if I cast that, it doesn't really do much. Dupré has 68 hit points. It only raises it very slightly. At this part of the game, it's much more useful to use the Great Heal spell on people that need it. Even someone like Leona, who doesn't have that many hit points in total anyway when she's maxed out. It's much more efficient to use Great Heal. Okay, the party's in pretty good shape. That's pretty much the first level of the Cyclops Cave. Let's head down to level 2. Level 2 is going to probably have a few more Cyclops than just level 1 had. Let's take a look around here. Ah, here they come. They're obviously annoyed at the intruders who have dared to show their faces in their home. Now, by using solo mode like this, though, as you can see, it's a good way to allow one of my characters to kind of hog the experience. The danger is I now have Dupré running off by himself and potentially getting into trouble with a lot of Cyclops around him. So let's move back towards the party here. Let the Cyclops come to us, and we will attack. We're also going to keep an eye on Dupré's experience here. As you can see, he gained a little bit of experience from killing that. He gained about 20 to 30 experience for that. Apparently Centre is being attacked. So wherever I've left the party, something terrible is going on. Let's head back quickly and get back to the party and find out what's going on. Oh, another Cyclops is there. Well, let's let Centre go ahead and attack him. He could certainly use experience as well. He made quick work of it with the use of his halberd. Let's see if he can open the chest from a diagonal. He can. Now, Dupré picked up a little bit of food from that last chest, so let's move that over to back to Chaminot. All right, let's continue exploring. Oh, there's another. That's that other Cyclops coming back. We'll continue attacking. Dupré's still doing a good job. Now this is much different than Ultima 4. In Ultima 4, when enemies start to retreat like that, when you've done sufficient damage and they start to retreat, you often have an obligation to allow them to retreat. You're balancing valor against compassion. Luckily in Ultima 6, we really don't have that issue. You can chase enemies down once they retreat without incurring a virtue penalty. Alright, there's the ladder to level 3, but before we go down, let's keep looking around here. There's a rope. Let's go ahead and grab that. That might come in handy down the road. Oh, darkness falls once again. Leona's going to have to quickly use a torch. There we go. Ah, looks like this is their kitchen. This is where they cook their meals. I guess we interrupted their dinner. No wonder they're grumpy. Here's some boxes. If we use them, we'll see what's inside. There's wine. Wine. Mead and wine. Well, it appears that the Cyclops is like a good drink with dinner. Here's another, what looks like a bedroom for them. Alright, that appears to be level 2 of the Cyclops Cave. Let's make our way to level 3. Oh, another Cyclops came about. Let's quickly attack him. Dupré will take the attack on our behalf, so he can get the experience. Alright, that was pretty successful there. Once again, a chest appeared, as well as some other items that we don't really need. once again, we'll split up the items among the appropriate party members. Alright, let's let the whole party kill this one so it goes a little faster. As you can see, our party's making quick work of these Cyclopses. Let's see how Dupre's looking in terms of his experience. He still only has 973. He needs to get up to 1600 to get level 6. Shamino and Yolo are doing much better in terms of that. Now there are harder dungeons that I can show to you, and I will eventually do that. In the meantime, let's have Shamino raid what looks like the larder of the Cyclopses. Free food. And in this case, it doesn't count as stealing. Notice also all of the powder kegs that they're keeping here. That's good to know. If we're ever in need of powder kegs at a future point of the game, that if we need to have powder kegs, well, this looks like a good place to go to get them. Alright, but that's pretty much it for the Cyclops Cave. So it's another fairly simple cave, not really all that much difficulty to it. There's one more cave I'd like to show you today before we quit, which is a little bit more challenge, a little bit more expansive. So once again, we're going to go ahead and use the Orb of the Moons. Let's go ahead and look in Shamino's bag here. Unfortunately, he has all of this fish and food. We'll eventually have to put that into another bag to organize it a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and put the Orb of the Moons 2 spaces to the north and 2 spaces to the east to go to the town of Jela. Okay. Now you may remember we came here already once before to try to find the pirate with a hook for a hand. And as you remember, there he is right there, Heftimus McPry. Now, we found his map piece already when we went looking in the dungeons. He was looking for gold and left the map piece behind. But he also said that there was another cave on this very island that he was looking in to look for gold. And well, here it is. Welcome to the Heftimus Cave. Now, you may remember when we went to the dungeons Wrong and Covetous, it was actually one dungeon with 2 different entrances. The Heftimus Cave is much like that. Heftimus Cave has 2 different entrances and 2 different names. If we travel here due east of where we just came into the cave, and continue walking until we get to a large chamber here, you see this ladder? This will lead us back outside. We are now just north of the Shrine of Honor. You see this path? That path leads to Trinsic, and just to the west, there's the shrine. So as you can see, this Heftimus Cave here is a quick shortcut if we didn't have a ship to get between the mainland of Britain, near around the town of Trinsic, and the town of Jhelum on that island. And here we can find out the other name of this dungeon. As we enter this one, it's also called the Hero's Hole. Alright, we're here in the Hero's Hole, and I'm going to show you around a little bit. If we head due south, there's a large chamber with some enemies in it. Whenever we're underground and there's large bodies of water, it's very likely that you're going to find enemies of at least one sort or another. Ah, slimes. Let's have Dupre do the killing. Unfortunately, these slimes don't even gain 10 experience, but every little bit helps. There we go. We were able to get him over 1,000 at least that way. If we find more difficult enemies, it might help. Now that's an acid slug just ahead of us, and I do not like the idea of Dupre getting up close and fighting with it at melee range. Let's attack that from a distance. Remember, acid slugs have the potential of dissolving your weapons or armor. exploring a little bit more. Like I said, these waterways have the tendency to spawn monsters like sea serpents. Let's let the party go to it. Let's see how well they do. Well, they chased that sea serpent off very quickly. As you can see, our party, even as weak as they are, when they all work together, well, they do a pretty good job. Let's stay up here by the water and see if anything else spawns. You know, maybe we can manage to kill it and actually get the experience. Oh, darkness fell one more time. Let's use another torch. If we keep heading north out of this large chamber, we'll eventually get to a series of passageways that will lead us in different directions. Now, one thing you need to be aware of is all dungeons often have traps. Remember when we went and fought we went looking for the thief, Phoenix, and how there was a trap on the ground near her? Well, if you know the trap is there, you can always search for it. And sometimes even searching for it does no good, as you can see. Now, YOLO has the highest dexterity of any member of our party. Let's see what happens when YOLO tries to search the ground there. Even YOLO's not able to find it. And that's something to be aware of, that these traps often are hard to find. But if we can move the trap out of the way, well, we can walk past it. The reason I did that is I happen to know that there is another trap in that spot right there where that trap is. There's actually 2 traps there. I know that from a previous playthrough. Alright, continuing southwards, we eventually get to level 2 of this dungeon. Let's take a look. Well, there's some alligators worth attacking. Let's see if Dupree can make short work of them. Looks like we get about 20 experience for killing each of these. So alligators are not a bad enemy to fight. Yeah. And there's a dog. However, the dog isn't attacking us, so we'll leave it alone. Let's see. Oh, I was gonna say, hopefully more alligators spawned, and it looks like they did. We'll take that extra experience for Dupree. This should get him up to about 1100 XP once it's dead. Exactly. At 1100 exactly. Perfect. He's getting there. At this rate, if we can keep finding stronger enemies like that, we shouldn't have any problem getting our getting our party level up to where they need to be. Alright, well that's pretty much it for level 2 of the Hero's Hole. However, it's not the only level 2. Hero's Hole actually has 2 different ways to head downwards from its first level. Let's head back up to level 1. Okay, if we head due north, let's avoid that There's two more interesting things that I'd like to show you in the Hero's Hole before we end for the day. Once again, we're going to go ahead and have Leona light a torch for us. If we follow this pathway all the way around, about as far north as we can go, we're eventually going to get to another ladder leading us downwards into the earth. To another part of level 2 of the Hero's Hole. And there it is. Now the reason I'm showing you this right now is to show you... First off, let's take care of this acid slug. I'm going to show you where this goes. The Hero's Hole actually connects with one of the dungeons of Britannia. Now it looks like there's a battle going on up here. If we continue to the north, we may stumble upon it. Yes, there's a giant squid. There we go, looks like Dupre was able to kill it. Unfortunately, Dupre was poisoned in the course of doing that. Let's go ahead and cure that right now. Oh, and unfortunately that stalactite is in the way. Or perhaps it's stalagmites that's coming out of the ground. Let's continue up around this lake here. If we come up in this direction, there's another ladder. And we are now heading back upwards, and we are now in the dungeon Despise, one of the 8 dungeons of Britannia. Now we're not going to explore Despise today, we're going to head back to the Hero's Hole. There's still one more thing I wanted to show you in this dungeon. But I thought it was worth showing you that a lot of these dungeons are interconnected. They lead to other dungeons, and eventually connect through to other places. You may remember the sewers that we were in that previous episode. Uh-oh, let's quickly kill this acid slug. When we were in the sewers in that previous episode, finding the thief Phoenix, well, if you follow the sewers down long enough and go deep enough into the sewers, you eventually end up in another series of caves that lead to the island of Buccaneer's Den. A series of pirate caves. Now we didn't go that way when we were playing earlier. But it turns out that a lot of these caves in Britannia join up together. Alright, there's one more place I'd like to show you in the Hero's Hole, and then before we quit for the day. Let's go ahead and head back downwards, southwards on level 1 here. There's one more area where there's a pretty good battle we can get into that should give us some pretty valuable experience. And I'm going to allow the whole party to take part in this battle this time. Now we're going to keep heading southwards here, a little further until we get to that main chamber that we were in earlier. Now we're in that, we should be almost in that, that large open chamber that we were in before. Yep, and here we should almost be there right now. Let's let Dupre kill these bats here. Alright, I think we actually passed just north of the chamber. I think we just passed it here. Yeah, here's that large chamber. That's okay, this is where we wanted to be. Here at the north end of the chamber, there's this corridor that runs left and right. If we continue a little further to the north into this open area, where all these bats are... Well, first you're going to get annoyed because these bats are very frustrating. They don't leave items behind when you kill them, and I'm sure the experience they grant is minimal. And they're hard to hit. But they're easy to kill once you hit them. Alright, we're going to go ahead and head north here, and as you can see, the way here is blocked off by all of these rock formations. So if we go around this, we can head north. There's a snake. We need to be careful of this. That thing could poison us if we don't kill it quickly. Fortunately, Dupre is very quick with his sword. Alright, this is what I was going to show you, just a little bit further to the north here. And as you can already see, there looks like what looks like a stairway here. Some sort of platform. And an altar with blood on it. And a mage. And skeletons. This looks like a job for the Avatar and his friends. Some dark ritual is going on. Leona has already been paralyzed. Let's put an end to this evil. The Avatar will engage this mage directly. Alright, the mage has been killed. Looks like the next biggest threat is this guard, who must be working for the mage. The rest of my party will continue to engage these skeletons. Let's keep an eye on their hit points and make sure nobody's in too bad shape here. I keep forgetting the Shamano has a halberd. I was wondering how he was managing to attack from such a range. Alright, we've killed those two. Now we need to deal with these skeletons. I'm going to allow the party to keep killing these guys themselves so they can get the benefit of the experience. So far, no one's in particularly bad shape. There's still a couple skeletons left. Dupre's engaged with that skeleton directly, as has Leona. And I think Santre is backing them up over there. There's one left. Alright, let's bring everybody back. We'll quickly search these corpses. The weapons aren't of any particular... Oh, there's another skeleton. Like I said, the weapons they're dropping aren't of any particular interest, but the gold is always good. This is a battle that isn't a particular challenge for my party. Oh, there's another halberd. You know, when they're all working together, it's not a particular challenge, but a party earlier on in the game might have a little bit of trouble with this. Looks like there's another chest. Let's move this a little further out of the way. Ah, okay. Some more gold. And unfortunately that's too heavy. We've actually reached Dupre's encumbrance. Let's see if Santre can carry it. And we'll see if Chamino can carry this bread. Even the torches are too heavy for Dupre at this point. We'll have to drop off these, this gold back at Lord British's castle. Alright, let's take a look at everybody's experience now that we've explored 3 different caves. We'll see what they look like. The Avatar is definitely leveled up. Dupre, unfortunately, is not quite there. Neither is Chamino or Yolo. Leona needs 400, as does Leoden, and they're not quite there. And Santre would need to get all the way up to 800. So right now, the only one who's been able to level up is Attentive. But as you can see, multiple trips into these caves, especially in a place like the Cyclops Cave, where the Cyclopses keep spawning, are a good way to raise experience. Let's make a quick trip before we quit. We're going to really quickly go to a shrine. I'd like to raise the Avatar's strength, since that's his lowest attribute right now. As you may remember, strength is raised by visiting the Shrine of Valor. Let's make a quick trip to the Shrine of Valor before we quit for the day, and then we'll be done. Let's move out of the way here. We're going to use the Orb of the Moons, 2 spaces to the east and 1 space to the north. Remember, the mantra of Valor is Ra. So, let's talk to the shrine. I wish to meditate. Attentive will do so and say Ra. Attentive has gained a level and strength. Let's take a look at his stats. His strength is now over 20, but more importantly, his level is now 6. If we look at his spellbook, he can now cast the spells of the 6th level, including powerful spells like Flame Wind. Those can attack multiple enemies at once. He can even charm enemies to fight on our side. That's pretty useful. But for now, that's the only one we're able to level up, so we're going to have to do some more fighting and more exploring if we want to get our other characters leveled up and ready for the fight with the dragons in the dungeon Destard. And that's what we're going to do next time. In our next episode, I'm going to take you to a longer dungeon, a much more challenging dungeon that's much more expansive, with terrible and fearsome enemies. In our next episode, we're visiting the Swamp Cave. I'll see you then.